When you combine two or more things together, you get something greater than the individual parts can make up. Just take a look at HTML or CSS, or maybe libraries and languages, or even just technology and business. All of these things have been made better by combining two or more elements. If we're talking about HTML and CSS, back in the day, a few decades ago, you might not realize, but a lot of HTML was just that, just HTML without really CSS. This means that if we were designing a website, it would pretty much just be all tables with maybe images in there, and we really wouldn't do that much CSS in general. And yes, they looked absolutely horrible. I added some really bad images with really bad colors and fonts back in the day when I was making websites. But this is because we didn't really consider CSS that much. It's changed since then. We've now combined two different things. We've combined CSS and HTML together. And what we get now is something amazing. We get amazing looking websites because we can both style them and build them at the same time. Some of the websites that I see these days just blow my mind. I don't even know if I could recreate them from scratch. They're using things like Flex and Grid and all sorts of stuff to make the responsive design just look amazing. And that is because we are combining both HTML and CSS. It's the same for libraries and languages. Just take a look at some of the amazing things that have come out. Things like React, for example, or some of the SVG libraries that allow us to do animation inside websites. And when you combine these things together, again, you get amazing looking websites that work in a way that nothing could have done in the past. Finally, take a look at technology and business. Yes, we used to have business in the past, and we didn't really implement technology that much. But now technology and business are almost intertwined. You cannot have one without the other. Because when we've combined the two, we've found that they work so well together that their output is essentially greater than their individual parts. Now, when I'm working, pretty much whether you're a business, small, large, or medium, doesn't really matter. Most of them already have apps and websites and all of that. And this is that combination. Now, this brings me to the next part of this video, which is learning how to combine different aspects of yourself together to create a better version of yourself. This can apply in so many different ways. The very first is your interests. Yes, I probably understand that most of you guys here have an interest in development and programming and maybe design too, but if you want to become better, you have to combine this with something else. For me personally, I started combining this with IT. This meant that originally, before I even did development, I did a lot of IT fixing computers and servers and playing around with Excel spreadsheets. And this didn't take me very far. It was only when I combined development with my technology or IT that it took me to the next level, where I started building out automations in my field, where I started building out little projects where I combined web technology with stuff I was doing in the IT industry that got me promoted, that got me to the next level. If this is something you're after, if you want to get more money, if you want to get a higher position, you want to stand out, you have to do this. You have to combine where you're working with stuff that you're already doing. So for example, if you're an accountant, that pretty much has endless possibilities for the kind of things that you can apply technology with or development in general. For example, I know a lot of accounting use Excel spreadsheets or they do things manually on paper. If you can apply some web technologies in there, maybe a React application that automatically calculates tax or other things, then that would be absolutely amazing. And I'm sure that already online there are heaps of great websites and applications which are doing just that. And this is what I mean by combining two different aspects and combining them together to create something greater. For example, I also like exercising and keeping track of my diet. And a combination of those two are apps that basically combine to have a look at what your intake is, essentially statistically graph that out to know how many calories you need to take in and how much you have to exercise. And there's so many different applications for this. If you want to stand out for applying in a job, this is what I mean. You want to combine things that you're interested in with your love for development. Personally, if I was applying for a job, right now I'm really interested in snowboarding. This means that if I was building out a project, maybe I was learning a new library or language, I would build out a project about snowboarding. Maybe I would map out geographically the best locations to snowboard around the world. And then I can use maybe React or another language or framework to put that into a website. Now I've combined two different things. And this is way better than just a to-do list or one of the tutorials that might just be out there. it's going to make you stand out. It's going to make you unique, and it's going to make you look like you really enjoy combining and creating something new out of the things that you've learned. When you're going for a job application, they're going to see that. Every other person will be just there doing their development tutorials. Maybe they know some languages, and you're there with real-world projects that are completely out of this world, that also show your personality, what you like, what you enjoy. And if that was me, if I was looking to hire someone, that's what I would be looking for. Of course, there's another aspect to this entirely, and that's the fact that these kinds of things, where you combine two different elements with programming, with something else, can create a whole new income stream for you that you might not even realize. Most businesses are born out of combining different things together. Just take a look at Uber Eats, for example. Combining technology with food and delivery, that's international. That's a huge business. This is just one small example of how technology can combine with other industries to deliver something amazing. If you have your own ideas of what you want to build, or maybe your own passions that you might not have even considered about, see if you can build them into applications. Even if you're just doing it for the sake of learning, you're going to learn something new, and you're going to use something that you enjoy, which will always make that learning process much better. But it also has the potential to start into a real business that can actually make you money. It only requires like 100 to 1,000 customers in any area to make a real business. And when you think about that, if you think about just 1,000 people wanting to use your application for a small fee, around the world with like billions of people, that should be easy to do. And it just takes a little bit of marketing, but there's always potentials out there. There's so many niches too. So that's my advice to you today. If you want to get ahead, combine two different things together. And I hope this video has helped you. If you guys did like it, make sure you like, subscribe, follow, retweet, whatever it is that I'm posting this medium on. And otherwise, I'll be posting more videos like this where I talk about topics. So if you want to see this kind of content, make sure you apply to the premium join package on YouTube, whatever it's called. And it's just like a small fee, but I'm going to be doing just more discussions about things that I've learned over the years in development. And hopefully this kind of wisdom can help you guys a little bit out. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.